Right.
Gentlemen?
Yes, welcome back, gentlemen. Right.
Sorry about that, guys. I got disconnected.
Yeah, I think before we go on, before we went on a break, Ms. M, you posed a question to Mushana if he follows up on what you tackled on.
Yeah, it was a question to both Mushana and Logan. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I mean,
okay, go ahead.
Very bad feedback from your end. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mushana, I can hear you guys.
Okay, so, Mr. Mawere, I think you misunderstood my point. You captured the essence of it. But it's the point where you were saying, I wasn't of the view that these political leaders should be part of that society. Now, the decision on whether or not they want to become part of the society is entirely up to them. My intentions are to extend a hand to welcome them. It does benefit their cause. It does benefit my cause, and it meets the objectives of the society. So it's an all-win situation for all parties involved. Now, as we know, people within societies choose to be part of or not to be part of a group. That's entirely their choice. What I would say about that is, it is beneficial for them to engage with people in different platforms. You know, what you want to be doing is to be capturing what people's concerns are from all walks of life. And the only way you can do that is by actually engaging with them on different platforms. Facebook is one platform, Skype is another, 1873 FM is another platform. So there are quite a number of platforms which they may or may not belong. As I've said, the decision is entirely up to them. They might actually be doing so in different platforms. All we can do is to extend our hand and say, listen, be a part of us. This is what we are trying to achieve. And it's entirely up to them whether they take that up or not.
No, in fact, I'm getting you correctly. What I'm saying, you opened up by sharing what you have extended to somebody. All we are trying to do is to work from what we have and create a conversation. Because sometimes the way I communicate can lead to one direction or another direction. So we're saying, how best do we communicate? And you have opened that avenue for us to talk about it as we try to build this network. Because as you know, a diverse country, you have many associations in the same country. It doesn't mean you are not all citizens. But if we set up a cyber society, then there must be a purpose for it. If we set up a general discussion society, even a debating society, then there must be a purpose for it. What we are saying is, how best do we promote this one? It's not exhaustive. It's just one of many networks that we're trying to create. So the thinking behind it and the method of associating is no different from what you do if you want to marry somebody, from what you do if you want to associate in form of a for-profit organization, even in form of not-for-profit organization. Because if we want to build pharmaceuticals, it doesn't mean the same person may not be a rugby player, like we learned from Stephen Saad. That you can be a rugby player and also be a chartered accountant and also be called an entrepreneur. It doesn't change. It's the same human being. But we can't then mix the three into one. We have now to decide, cyber, what are the kind of issues that will then attract people. And who do we want in it? If I'm a president somewhere and I come to the society, I'm coming there as an ordinary member. But it doesn't make me different from what I need to do. We may need to set up a Zimbabwean chapter that deals with what Zimbabwe, whether it's Diaspora Association. It means those people who are outside that association will be able to what? To associate. And that's the point of
right. So my thinking around that, or should I actually as a contribution perhaps, is that, you know, if you think about, you're based in Rivonia, so if you think about Rivonia Boulevard, you know, we know it is a place where you find quite a number of businesses. If you think about Sandton Square Mall, you know, you will find different organizations there. The main aim is it's a business area, it's a retail park. Okay, the same thing can be equated to cyber society. It can act in that capacity where it is the platform where you will then find people who are interested in different things, presenting or hosting their shows. So, in as much as you will go to Rivonia Boulevard and want to find something to eat, and afterwards you might be interested in looking at hardware or getting your hair done, or you know, putting fuel in your car. You know where to find it. So I am saying, one of the things that we might actually incorporate within this cyber society is having different segments, as you suggested before. So this is quite a simple concept where we have seen that it works. Quite a number of organizations do that. You've got Zimbo TV, you've got ZimEye, other organizations like that, which you have different people hosting different events in different countries, in different locations. So it can actually work in terms of cyber society.
Yeah, I don't know, Donovan, what's your take?
You know, I agree with Mushana. In any sort of organization, you know, you've got to have these segments of focus. And, you know, you mentioned it yesterday. Obviously, we received that message on the group about what's happening with the guys in Cape Town. And on the back end here, I've made contact with the interested parties, obviously with Florence and a couple of other, Lloyd, etc., and a couple of other guys in the Johannesburg chapter. And it's predominantly about those who want to be involved versus those who are learning more about getting involved, also versus those who want to sort of just be a spectator. So, you know, there's three variables there. I don't know how you guys look at it, but we've got to find ourselves in the middle of it all.
Yeah, I'm saying is when you want to build something, then we have different interests. Even oranges and apples, they may all be fruits, but they don't have to be one. So we can then find a way of messaging so that we then can try to build something. Because we can all do different things, but at the core of it, what do we want to achieve? And, you know, this morning with the sound, we had a technical problem. And just to show you, I think Nikiwe just shared something from BMW, from Edwin. We're at Palabora Primary School in Limpopo. Our director will commission 500,000 solar project, as well as a 350 square meters greenhouse garden, whereby school kids are encouraged to grow and eat organically. The veggies grown here will be used to feed these kids during lunch. SASCO is partnered with us and will make donations of bread right until the end of this year. Saturday, 13th May, We are out here in Soweto under the flagship of Joburg City Auto. All are welcome, and all BMW drivers will get free car washes. This is drumming up momentum for the new dealerships that will open soon at Newtown Junction. It will be great if you attend and be visible. Again, you see the power of communication. This is a corporate that is doing good. It's communicating to us, and then by communicating with us, it means we can then be organized. Those in cyber who drive BMW, please, you are welcome.
Well, today it's Monday, the 8th.
You are welcome to be part of this experience. While we are looking at BMW, it doesn't stop us from also talking about this cyber. There are people in cyber who are in the auto industry. So we also ask BMW, Edwin, if you have anyone in cyber trying to protect the information integrity of BMW, please tell your colleagues to then talk to us so that we build a cyber society that reflects all of us. And there are some people who may be from Nigeria, but they are part of this cyber. They are part of this cyber society. How best do we bring them on board so that we can all work together and talk to each other? So those are the kind of things, although we're talking about cyber, they are human beings. They have to come to work. Some of them drive BMWs. So we need to reach out and find the best way of building this society of diversity, the society that is inclusive, and a society that is interdependent. But I can't say I only want this to push Indian affairs. No. Let's push things that appeal to human beings, but knowing that our core thrust is cyber. For this group, we may have another group, which is focusing on Zimbabwe. Then we have to explain why do we need to isolate Zimbabwe and not talk about humanity. Then this station becomes not 1873 FM, it becomes Zimbabwe FM or Zim FM. Yeah, I think we can deal with the other issues as we get into the next segment, which is a segment that deals with just general discussion. And maybe we can open also a discussion on this Soweto experience. What can we do if there's somebody in BMW who can talk to us so that they can explain what is this? There's another function again where 1873 is what is hosting. Is it about mums? Is it? What is the... Yeah. Okay. Behold.
I think just to also comment on what you're saying, Mr. M, and to further extrapolate, you know, in the field of cybersecurity is wide, and in order to create more focus and we bring all of these individuals with their varying experiences and understandings of where they fit in the society or in the cyberspace, is to also unearth the subject matter experts in each of those areas, whoever they may be, and be able to identify them and bring their skill sets to the table so that we can broaden the forum and the experience of understanding and the knowledge base that we're building.
I think that is so when we get to the next segment, we can then talk about about maybe get in touch with BMW, and if you guys can hang around, then let's do it.
All right, we'll quickly go on a commercial break and we'll return shortly.